Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie review, re-review, random thought stream, commentary, video game playthrough for an hour, full playthrough, tier list ranking, whatever the case may be, feel free to send in. I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And one thing I wanted to mention before is how I first heard about this film, and this would be kind of seem like a tangent, but kind of a something from back to the day. I don't know if you call it a rarity, but these things. Now, if you wonder what these things are, there is a magazine called Total Movie, and for at least the first 4 or so issues, I don't know how long, I don't think it lasted too long. When you bought the magazine, you would get a DVD with it. And the DVD would be like this. So it would be trailers, short films, DVD extras, and other promotion, which you can't see, but so it says like for this, trailers for Tomb Raider, Memento, Shrek, Enemy at the Gates, Monty Bone, The Mexican, Down to Earth, Double Take, Original Sin, short films, The Killer Bean 2, which definitely had an ode to John Woo, Me and the Big Guy, DVD extras, behind the menus of The Crow Salvation and Clerks Uncensored, the trailer behind the scenes of Rocky, featurette and extras for Glory, trailers and extras for Clerks Uncensored, Highlander Endgame, trailer and extras, DVD trailers, Alfie, Real Life, Blair Witch 2, Death Wish, Requiem for a Dream, and others. And for example, there's this one. Hannibal, Do Where's My Car, Fighting Forrester, Castaway, Valentine. These are all trailers. Short films. Blow Me Up Tom, The Best Man, Battle of the Sexes, The Friendly Cowboy, and then a bunch of DVD extras. Or just trailers and stuff. So it was kind of cool because this is when DVD is kind of becoming more of a thing. This is what, February, March of 2001, and this was April. Now, there was another one I used to have, but I don't have anymore, and the cover was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And in it was a trailer for this film, Vertical Limit, and that was the first time. Because, yeah, I think, 2001, it's not like nowadays that you go on YouTube and find a trailer and watch it. Unless you're an avid renter of movies, or you go on the channel E and they would have a program. Once in a while you have a program called Coming Attractions. There'd be no way to see trailers for films coming out. I didn't, unless you were an avid movie theater goer or DVD renter. If not, then there wasn't a whole lot of options to watch trailers in that time period. But yeah, Vertical Limit is how I first heard and saw of this film, was a trailer on one of these things. So I know at least there was 4 of these. There was one that had Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And another one, I can't remember what was on the cover. The Exorcist, I think. The Exorcist and that Hal Ramis film Bedazzled. So I know at least there's those 4. I don't know if there was more. But anyway, I know. Off tangent. But yeah, I remember seeing the trailer to this film and being curious because it looked like it had some good action, stunt sequences. Remind me a little bit of films like Cliffhanger, among stuff. And then when I did eventually rent it, or might have been a film I saw on cable actually, I kind of remember not being that impressed by it. And watch it again. Now I'm not really big on the film. It does have some good stunt sequences. I'll give you that. You have a very capable director. You got Martin Campbell. Martin Campbell did GoldenEye and The Mask of Zorro, and then years after this he did Casino Royale. So he's a very good, competent director, but this one, I don't know, this one never did it for me. I mean, I wouldn't say it's god awful, it's not, but it's definitely a ridiculous film. It's definitely a film that is not realistic in the slightest, but it's trying for escapism. If you're a climber, you'll lose your fucking mind. But hell, I can enjoy films like that. I love Cliffhanger. I know Cliffhanger's not realistic. Where the scene where when he's under the water and he kills Travers, and there's that thing that only has one, but somebody shoots three, because in the original cut, he shot one time, he didn't go down, and then Michael Rooker came in and shot the shit out of him with the shotgun. But for some reason, in the release version, they re-edited where it seemed like Stallone shot that bolt 3 times. Which, I mean, they can't. It can only shoot once. So I don't know why they did that. It would have made more sense. But I guess that you have Stallone to kill, which that's cool. Then, I mean, you could re-edit it in a different, better way. But anyway, I love Cliffhanger, though. I love Cliffhanger. It is one of my favorite 90s action films. It's one of my favorite Stallone films. I adore Cliffhanger. Because that one I thought just had more of a focus and more intensity. And you have the really good bad guy, John Lithgow, Stallone. I think did a top-notch job just like Michael Rooker did. And I was more invested with the plot, the story. Here, not really. Chris O'Donnell, I don't mind Chris O'Donnell. I just don't find him engaging enough as a lead in this type of movie. I mean, he was there as Robin. Yeah, I could deal with him. I know he did other films. He did that one, I think, The Chamber, with him and Gene Hackman. He was on that TV show with LL Cool J for who knows how many years, but I never saw an episode of that show. See, yeah, Chris O'Donnell's better than some of the people I see nowadays, but he was never that guy that I'm like, oh, I'm pulled into the story because of him. Bill Paxton, rest in peace to him. He plays a billionaire who is a two-faced turncoat piece of shit. Scott Glenn is the older, wizened climber who eventually joins in helping them meet their goal, which I'll get to in a minute. Robin Tunney from End of Days, and she's been in a lot of other stuff. She is the sister of Chris O'Donnell's character. Also, I forget his name, but Dr. Bashir from Deep Space Nine, he's in this as one of the climbers. As well as, I forget her damn character name. The girl who's the Bond girl in GoldenEye. The one who James Bond saves and is the good Bond girl in GoldenEye. She's in this as one of the climbers. I think I wrote her name down, but I forget where I wrote it, so I'll get there. I think the character's name is Monique. That's the character's name, Monique. Oh, Nicholas Lee, Agent Krychet from the X-Files, he's in this. Stuart Wilson, who was the bad guy Travers in Lethal Weapon. Not Travers. Was he Travers? Maybe he was Travers. Also, he was the bad guy in Lethal Weapon 3. He was also the bad guy in Ninja Turtles 3. Stuart Wilson plays the dad. He's at the beginning of the film. So yeah, for someone like me, there's definitely a lot of recognizable people and some good actors. I like Bill Paxton. I like Scott Glenn. Chris O'Donnell, again, I could deal with, but again, I wouldn't say I love. So the way the film starts is Chris, Robin Tunney, and their dad, Stu Wilson, climbing. And then something goes wrong where these two amateur climbers fall. And they take the other three out. And it was weird, like at one point they have a lot of rope, but when they fall, then they barely have any rope. And Yeah, apparently if you ask climbers, the whole scene's ridiculous. Like the thing that they put into the rock, and it expands to hook in there. They say that those things in reality could hold a car. So the fact it can't hold 5 or 3 people is ridiculous. But, yeah. It's not a documentary, to be fair. But to be fair, if you're a climber and you know about this, I'm not. I've never climbed a mountain. I never will. I have no desire to. My feet would rather be on the ground. I'm not a bird. I'm not a plane. I'm not Superman. So I'm staying on the ground. Hopefully I'm back with a woman on top of me. But that's another story for another day. But what's weird about it is somehow the dad knows that the 3 of them can't handle it, but I guess 2 people can, because he cuts. It's only the 3 of them. He cuts his rope. He falls. Then there's Chris O'Donnell, Robin Tunney being sad. Then it cuts to how many years later. I'm like, well, the whole point is that Robin Tunney could not reach the edge. Now she could reach the edge. Now they're safe. Now they're fine. Like, you didn't really see how they were fine, and did she actually get to the thing? Because she couldn't get to it before, but now she can. So you just have to really, a lot of disbelief and stuff. So it's years later. Robin Tunney and Chris O'Donnell don't have a good relationship because Robin blames Chris for all the stuff happening. Because he was made to cut the rope. The dad had told him to cut the rope. Chris O'Donnell's a photographer. And this comes off fucking random. His buddy is walked with him. All of a sudden, he becomes like a ping pong ball. And his leg gets stuck in these rocks. And it's so fucking brutal. It's like someone hit the thing on the pinball and went poo poo poo. I'm like, what the fuck happened? When did he become a rubber ball? Is someone playing kickball with his ass? He's just like, bah, 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 and just all of a sudden his leg's stuck. I'm like, what the fuck happened? How'd that happen? And his leg's broken. And who this guy was, I don't know. Why did this happen? I don't know. It's just, then they go to get him, I guess so that Chris O'Donnell can meet these people at this Pakistani camp. Where then Chris gets some information as to what's going on with his sister and these other people. It's funny how the commander, he says, time to wake up the Indians. I don't know, just something about that. I don't think that kind of would fly today in the PC culture. So what's going on over here is that Bill Paxton is this billionaire. He wants to climb K2 because he wants to put something on there because something's going to fly over. It's going to be a piece of advertising. So in order to help him climb, he gets 4 other people. One of them is Robin Tunney, and one of them is Nicholas Lee, Krycek from X-Files. And the 4 of them don't go up. Eventually, Krycek keeps warning them, and Bill Paxton's like, no, we gotta keep going. Then they get warned again, no, we gotta keep going. And then it's too late, and the storm's there. I remember one piece of Paxton's dialogue, well, what do you expect that mountain to do? To just pull her panties down and let us enter, or something like that? I'm like, okay. Eventually there's a storm. The other 2 people that you didn't know a thing about die. And then the other 3 that we knew a little bit about, Bill Paxton, Robin Tunney, and Nicholas Lee, they fall into this pit. Nicholas Lee, Krycek gets hurt. The other 2 are there. I guess with the walkie-talkie, like they can't hear each other, but somehow they do Morse code. I don't know if that's the thing, like, if you can't hear each other, but you do kind of Morse code. I don't know if that's a thing or not. I don't know. I mean, I know Morse code is a thing, but the way they did it, I don't know. Whatever. So eventually, Chris O'Donnell wants to get a team up there, and it's going to be eventually a team of 6. So it's going to be Chris O'Donnell. It's going to be that girl I talked about. She played Natalia in GoldenEye. Which I will admit, a dialogue that made me laugh was one of the guys going, "Oh, she's French Canadian. Sometimes she's Canadian and quite pleasant, but today she's obviously French." I thought so. I thought that was kind of funny. I forget his name, like Stipp or something. I did like him. He's not in the film a whole lot. I did like him. But yeah, pretty much, like I said, of the six, it's going to be Chris, that girl, these two guys who are like the two comic relief characters. The first time we see them is they're sitting nude while they're all in the cold and ice. The two brothers. There's Dr. Bashir from Deep Space Nine. God, who's the other? Wait, Chris, the girl. The two brothers, Dr. Bashir, and then Scott Glenn. Which he doesn't want to at first, but then when he hears that Bill Paxton's character is up there, then apparently whoever goes up there will get paid $500,000. He says it, but he goes, "Listen, I'll do this, but what I say goes." And I like Scott Glenn. It's always nice to see Scott Glenn, whether it be in this film called The Challenge, underrated film from the 80s, directed by John Frankenheimer, a Backdraft, whatever the case is. It's always nice to see Scott Glenn in this type of movie. And if you look into the details, there's a lot of bullshit in the film. Like, they explain high altitude pulmonary edema. So HAPE, HAPE. It's all bullshit. Like, the way they describe it has nothing to do with the reality. Like, they say that, oh, they got it and they only have like 22 hours. No, that's not how high altitude pulmonary edema works. Apparently some people only get that. Not everybody gets it. Also, like, if you slowly go up, you won't get it as much. They say something about you need to drink water. Drinking water has nothing to do with it. Like, drinking water has nothing to do. Plus, you each got like a bottle of water, and you got like a whole like fuel. That should be enough to last you for days, not 22 hours. So it's just like they have to take this nitro up. Because I guess when they get there, you gotta blow it up. So I guess they thought they were going to be like Sorcerer, like that William Friedkin film Sorcerer. And then for some reason, like the Pakistanis keep, it leaks like a fucking old man's limp dick. It just fucking leaks everywhere. It even leaks on some guy's shoe, and they're like, "Be careful," and then they have, throw it away, and there's a big explosion. I'm like, why do you keep this nitro in this fucking shitty canisters? And if it don't leak that badly right now, aren't you worried it's going to leak in a similar fashion later? Apparently not, because we gotta go. And then they say, "Oh my God, the sun. If the sun hits it," which I'm like, the sun's been hitting it this whole time, it hasn't blown up. But now they're worried that it's going to blow up if the sun hits it. Because at one point the sun hits one of the canisters in the Pakistani camp and blows a chunk of it away. Watch out, if the sun's hitting it, it's going to blow. And I'm like, okay, first I'm glad that you said that now and it didn't happen 5 minutes, 10 minutes before you called. And who's to say it's going to happen? I don't think nitro does that. I don't think nitro gets fucked up if the sunlight hits it. I've heard that if you freeze it and unfreeze it, then something could happen, but I don't think if sunlight hits it, nitro does anything. Plus, it's like a certain color, and I think real nitro doesn't have a color. So some of the stuff they like make up is weird. Like, that's not how nitro works. That's not how high altitude pulmonary edema works. But it is what it is. And then like Bill Paxton, they've been up there for like not even a day, and past his terror is already ready to kill somebody. In particular, Nicholas Lee. Oh, we can't be wasting supplies. And come on, he's not going to make it. I'm like, dude, it hasn't even been a day. What's that's day you don't eat him? God, be lucky you're not one of those guys in that Alive. The I forget what the real life was called. The story that Alive is based on. Like, good. Better be glad you're not one of those fucking people that months. Like, goddamn. Also, I don't know why the fuck you would bring like one bottle of water. Fuck, I got 2 bottles of water here just to do a review. See, 1 and 2. So why the fuck would you only bring 1 bottle of water to climb up the fucking mountain? I don't know why. If I'm going up the mountain, I'm bringing like 10. They may freeze, but eventually they may unfreeze, and even if they freeze, I don't know. Just wait for that sun that will blow up the nitro and it'll maybe melt the ice. I don't know. So the 6 go up there. And they do this weird thing like, okay, they gotta get to this point quicker, but they're in a helicopter and the helicopter can't land. So people had to kind of jump off. And I'm like, this seems like a really bad idea. 2 you almost die just from that. Scott Glenn and Chris O'Donnell, and they barely make it out. Like, Chris ready to fall, and Scott Glenn grabs them, and then they jump off. Then they split up, which I don't understand why they split up. They say they split up to have better chances to get in there, but why? Why would that be the better chance? Why would the better chance be splitting up? You're going to the same place. Unless you know a shortcut you're not telling. Wouldn't it be better to all of you stick together in case something happens and then more people will be there to help? That way, later on, when you gotta warn people about the nitro, you don't have to be fucking, oh, the walkie-talkie don't work. I hope I'm going to scream and hope they hear me. No, there'd be more people. I don't... What? Why did they split up? I don't even know why they split up. I still don't know why the fuck they split up into 3 teams. I don't know what was the benefit of that. I still don't know. That doesn't make sense. That'd be like a cliffhanger. Okay, Stallone goes in with Michael Rooker, but then they just decide to split up. No, they sit together. And then John Lithgow, comes about and he makes them split up. Well, we only need one. Dude, watch out, they don't kill you, come down here. Much more intense and fun movie. And the characters do some dumb things, like one of them puts their bag on the slope, so of course it falls, and he falls. And it's that thing that, of course, digs in, and it hooks right at the edge. Meanwhile, the girl... It's that guy and the girl from GoldenEye. Her character name is Monique. One of his canisters fall, the nitro. It hits. And it looks like it almost blows up the whole fucking face of the mountain from one canister of nitro. Then the guy climbs up and Monique's down below. And apparently avalanches are stealthy like ninjas, because they'll come up across you. It's not like you can fucking hear them rumbling like a motherfucker, because he doesn't hear anything, and then he kind of hears something, and for some reason he doesn't do anything, and he slowly... I mean, I don't know why he's taking so long to slowly turn. I mean, why don't you quickly, oh shit, let me get down and try to hold on to the side of the mountain, so if it pushes me, I put the equipment in and it maybe hold me so I don't get blown off the fucking ledge. But for some reason he's like, is someone sneaked up on me? Oh shit, it's an avalanche! Because avalanches always sneak up on you, don't they? And he obviously heard something because he had a look on his face. But it's like, then why didn't you fucking take? Why'd you take your fucking time? Why didn't you get the fuck out of Dodge quick? So I didn't understand that either. But I didn't give a shit about that character. So he died. Okay, he was an idiot. Fine. So of the six, that's one down. So it's five to go. Then, when they find out the nitro uh, gets, if it gets hit by sunlight, it's like fucking vampire and explodes apparently. So, Dr. Bashir and the other, the dead guy's brother now, they hide it. Then they're laughing about it, and I guess the cancer cheap as fuck leaks, and then they get blown up. And if you look closely, they get blasted, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I went back, they turn into fucking skeletons. Like they're sitting there and they get blown off like this way. Like this direction. And if you look closely, like if you do slow-mo, they turn into bloody skeletons. I'm like, okay. Shit. So now there's only three. Monique does this bullshit move where she's on the side and she has one of those things and she's able to hook it at the part of the cliff while swinging. So he's like, she's doing click and then able to keep on swinging. I'm like, what the fuck? That's impressive, I guess. Meanwhile, Nicholas Lee, Krychek ain't doing well, and eventually Paxton kills him. Robert Tunney just thinks the guy died of his injuries. Bill Paxton, they get the idea to take Krychek's blood, put it up there, explode to make a marker. But when they put it up there and it explodes like three dead bodies explode. Like, did they take every drop of blood from this body? It's like a huge bloody explosion. I'm like, how much fucking blood did he take from them? Is there any left? I mean, I mentioned they were vampires. You sure, you vampire? Like, they took every drop of this guy's fucking blood. Chris O'Donnell, I mean, he doesn't really do a whole lot throughout the film, except he doesn't trust Scott Glenn because Scott Glenn has a personal beef with Bill Paxton. Something about Paxton was in another expedition that involved Scott Glenn's wife, and he more than likely thinks that Bill Paxton led to Scott Glenn's wife's death, which, considering how Bill Paxton is acting, is more than likely the case. So Chris O'Donnell leaves Scott Glenn and goes with Monique because they find each other. They find the place, blow it up, try to get him out. Oh, this is one bit where the trailer moment where Chris O'Donnell has to jump from one to the other, like doing his Cliffhanger moment, only Cliffhanger was a lot... Well, I mean, it was in the trailer, they cut it out, and yes, that was an impossible jump, but it was fun to see in the trailer. But Stone does... So they took the beginning part of that, they put into another scene in Cliffhanger. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, but, I expect that kind of stuff in these type of escapism action films. But that really is, like, one of the only moments Chris O'Donnell has in the movie as your lead. They're bringing up Robin Tunney, there's Bill Paxton, there's Scott Glenn. Scott Glenn, Bill, or spoiler, they're hanging. And just like what happened back in the beginning with the dad, Scott Glenn takes a knife, cuts to both of them, they both fall, and there's Chris O'Donnell. And then somehow Chris O'Donnell, Monique the girl, and the almost dead Robin Tunney, somehow they make it all the fucking way back to the ground. I don't know how. I mean, look how much trouble it took for you guys to get up here. You tell me there was no trouble getting back? Apparently not. Because the next scene is they're back at camp. I'm like, how the fuck did you get down here so easily and quickly? Well, now there's the three of you, and one of the Robin Tunney's half dead. Half past dead. Also, I like how it adds like kind of a happy ending when like 8 people died and 1 person was saved. It's kind of like Saving Private Ryan. You know, all these people went to save one guy, and so many people died, but for one guy to live. So, do the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one? Well, I'd rather watch Star Trek than this. So, because I think, okay, in the first expedition, Paxton was the bad guy, but he died. The 2 we didn't know died. Krycek, Agent Krycek died. So that's 4. Then Scott Glenn died, the 2 brothers died, and Dr. Bashir died from Deep Space Nine. So that's a lot of people getting killed to save Robin Tunney. But then Crystal Down Robin Tunney, they kind of act like it's a happy ending. I'm like, oh, I guess it is. I mean, like, it's one of those things that it's up to the individual how they feel about those statistics. I don't know. It's a hell of a trade-off, don't you think? It's a hell of a fucking trade-off. And it seems like the ending should be much more dour and kind of, I don't know, I want to say depressing, but like more, I don't know. There's like a lot of people fucking died. But anyway. So as it, like, there's some good stunt sequences when people were sliding off the mountain and stuff of that nature. I think Martin Campbell can accomplish some decent action set pieces and usage of the snow and the mountains and the landscape. But I mean, if you're looking at this as a climber, you don't lose your fucking mind. As a movie, escapism, it felt like they tried to do too much. It felt like the script of the film was, you know, that they have the script and they go, okay, these people, there's 3 people caught, and they're on the side of the mountain, or on the top of the mountain. And they go, yeah. And say, well, that's not enough. What do you mean that's not enough? Well, it's not enough. Well, how is that not enough? Well, I mean, it's just, you know, these people here, they're just trapped, and but is it enough? Like them traversing the elements and the weather and the close calls and pieces of cliff stumbling, avalanches, the cold. Yeah, but that's not enough. Okay, well, add nitro. They gotta carry nitro. Be like that movie Sorcerer, William Friedkin. Okay. So the nitro, they gotta be careful. Okay, but you know, I don't know that's enough. Oh, have it be like sunlight, but that doesn't. No, but just whatever. People don't know nitro. How many people know nitro? How many people in the audience know about nitro? Yeah, something happens and, you know, they gotta hide it and there'll be some explosions. Okay. Yeah, but it doesn't seem like enough trouble. Oh, have a bad guy as well with Bill Paxton, and he's a turncoat, and he's like a piece of shit, and will turn on you and fuck you over. Okay. So we have the rescue mission, and the bit with the nitro, and there's a human bad guy. Like, put it all in a blender, and there you go. Vertical limit. Which I was never a big fan of this movie. I was never in love with this film. Because I would watch this and go, I'll just watch Cliffhanger again. Why don't I just watch Cliffhanger again? It might be on Tubi for those interested. And it's not the worst ever. But like I say, it is unrealistic. It is silly. But I don't know, man. I could watch it and not be mad about it. Not upset about the film. I do appreciate some of the technical aspects of what they were doing. Because like I said, Martin Campbell, like he did in GoldenEye and the Master of Zorro before and such, and Casino Royale after it, he definitely knows how to accomplish those things. I mean, I could watch this over The Foreigner, which Martin Campbell did. That was a very disappointing Jackie Chan film. Because I think Martin Campbell did that. I actually have to look over all the films he did now. But I do think, does it stack up to his James Bond stuff? No. The Master Zorro I liked more. This one I just don't think it was that interesting of a script. It felt like they tried to do too much at the same time. Chris O'Donnell, I don't think he's as dynamic as of a lead. So yeah, he did Criminal Law with Gary Oldman and Kevin Bacon. He did No Escape. I always forget that he did No Escape with Ray Liotta. GoldenEye, The Master of Zorro, this film. He did the sequel, The Legend of Zorro. I didn't know he did the sequel. Edge of Darkness, I could never get into. I don't mind Green Lantern. The Foreigner, I thought was disappointing. The Protege. I don't know if I've seen that film. Memory, that was lame. That was a lame film. That might be his worst film. Well, no. Well, he did Cleaner with Daisy Ridley. I haven't seen that film, but yeah. I saw the trailer and look at that fucking thing, man. That looks like it'd be his worst film. Cleaner. What a fucking shitty title. Cleaner. Were they cleaning the jizz at the fucking jerk-off store? Store. Yeah. They buy stuff to jerk off. I don't know. The jerk-off booth. The jizz moppers. And she's the cleaner with her ton. But Vertical Limit, I don't know. I don't hate the film, but it's not a film I love either. I think with a more interesting lead, which I'm trying. Let me look. Like 2000 films of 2000. Just looking at like films of 2000, like action. Like, I mean, it wouldn't make, maybe it wouldn't make. There'd be other stuff I would want different as well, but I'm just curious. I mean, this came out 2000. This is the same year as the first X-Men, Mission Impossible 2, Pitch Black, Get Carter, Romeo Must Die, Shanghai Noon, Reindeer Games, Bait. Well, no, the Fast and Furious is 2000. So now, yeah, they're doing 2001. So. I mean, I'll be honest, part of me would rather have had Bill Paxton as the lead. Or Scott Glenn as the lead. Have it be an older climber. Okay, he won't be doing the crazy, That's the thing, Chris O'Donnell didn't have a whole lot to do, so I don't know, man. Take that for you, well, I don't know. I think it tried to overcomplicate the plot too much. There's definitely a lot of stuff that's ridiculous, and sometimes it's a bit overboard, even for me, to suspend the disbelief. And the story, like, I didn't care. Robin Tunney, do I like Robin Tunney as an actress? Sure. I didn't give a shit about her character and whether her character lived or died, because there was barely much of an introduction. As you see them on the mountain wall, then all of a sudden there's a situation, and then boom. well, a few years later. So, and again, they just remind me of Cliffhanger. I'm like, I just can't be reminded. I just want to watch Cliffhanger. Oh, that's the beginning. Remind me of Cliffhanger, but I thought Cliffhanger was more intense and more better. That had the issues between Stallone and Janine Turner, where Janine Turner did not blame Stallone, but Stallone blames himself for what happened. While here, it's the sister blaming the brother. So you have two people, man and woman, granted different dynamics, but involved in blame. Did I really talk about this film for 40 fucking minutes? Holy shit. Well, I think it's time to stop. I didn't know it'd be a 40-minute fucking video on Vertical Limit, but oh well. So sorry about that. So, it's there, but I would never watch it again, and it's definitely no Cliffhanger. So take that for you will. It's better than Extreme Ops. I'll give you that. Cliffhanger's here, Extreme Ops is here, and Vertical Limit's kind of in the middle. So I'll put it that way. So thanks for watching. If you don't know what Extreme Ops is, just watch the trailer and you'll figure it out. So we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.